guys, this is my tutorial for a Poison 3D Skull Glitter Tumbler. I have already sanded and prepped my tumbler using an 80 grit sanding block, and now I'm ready to add my base colors. I'll be using a semi-gloss black and a gloss purple. I'm not trying to make my base paint perfect, we'll be glittering over it, so don't worry if it comes out a little wonky. I'll be using the epoxy method to apply my glitters, and as you all know, I like to add a little extra epoxy when working with chunkier or larger cut glitters. The glitter will settle into the epoxy and it will allow me to add a couple coats of glitter so I can get the ombre effect I want. When you're all done, let this layer cure and epoxy till smooth. Now let's work on our 3D skull. I'm using Poly Sculpt, now called Culture Sculpt from CCDIY. It's a two-part sculptable and moldable epoxy resin, so it will come with a part A and a part B. Just like with regular epoxy, you need equal parts. I looked on CCDIY's website and they stated that you don't really need to weigh the two parts, you can actually just eyeball it. Once you're finished mixing, let your ball of epoxy sit and cure for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. This will help when it's time to add our cookie cutter and cookie stencil. If you apply your cutter too soon, the Culture Sculpt will be too sticky and will stick to your cutter and stencils. While we wait for our Culture Sculpt to cure, let's work on our decals. I didn't add my decals all over, I just put them on certain areas on the cup. Use your own discretion, guys, and put them where you like. For this round, I was a little too soon with my culture sculpt and the epoxy was a tad too tacky, so I waited another 15 minutes and tried again. It was still a little bit tacky, but workable. Let's decorate and color our skull. For the base, I'm adding PDB Creative Studios LOL Mica Powder. Once done, because the culture sculpt is still tacky, I'll be placing it directly onto the tumbler. No extra adhesive was necessary. Now you can stop here, paint in your eyes and nose with black and be done, but y'all know how I love to add depth, so I'll be adding some extra elements. I need to ask y'all's forgiveness though. I did not realize until I started editing the video how far down I was off the frame. So I'll be narrating everything I do as I start to do them. I am so sorry about that, guys. This current step, I got my glue stick and Seduction mica flakes. Apply your glue, then pat and rub your flakes onto your skull. My skull is still a tad tacky, so you don't have to wait for it to cure to decorate it if you don't want to. I was impatient and didn't want to wait, but you definitely can if you like. Just be sure to put your skull on your tumbler before it cures. Now to add even more depth to our skull, and as always, you can skip this step if you like, guys. Do whatever works for you. I really wanted my skull to pop, so I added black alcohol ink around the perimeter of my skull using a Q-tip. I also go around the edge of the skull to add some shading, and I also fill in the eyes and nose. To blend, I dip my Q-tip into my alcohol as I go along. To blend my shadows even more, I then started to add Purple Passion alcohol ink and went over the shaded areas to add more depth. using my coffee filter and some more alcohol, I'm going to go around my skull and blend out the black alcohol inks I placed earlier. I'll also be adding some Seduction mica flakes with a paintbrush in the corners of the skull and around some of the edges. I wanted to add some highlights, so using some silver inks from Woody's Goodies, I'd go around and highlight where I feel it. Use your own discretion, and as always, you don't even have to highlight at all if you don't want to. I wanted my skull eyes and nose to be a little bit darker, so I also grabbed some CCDIY dispersion colors to fill them in. You can also use black acrylic paint. I let my skull dry and completely cure, sealed with Krylon Triple Thick, and then I was ready to add my drips. I wanted a two-tone drip for this tumbler, so to do this, I split my mixture into 2 cups, added Raisin micas into one, and LOL micas into another. I used a darker color for my base drip and my lighter color on top. They settled right on into each other and gave a really cool effect. add some extra oomph, I top my drips with Beetlejuice Mica Flakes from Woods Goodies, and I just said that dude's name 3 times. If I see some green-haired dude with a black and white striped suit in my house, Erin, I'm coming for you, girl. How in the world do you come up with these names for your micas? Lord mercy. I still love you, though. If you want a thicker, goopier drip like this one, just add a little bit more nice and thick into your epoxy. I don't know though, what do you think, guys? I'm thinking I'm liking the drippier drip than the goopier drip. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. After my drip was all cured, I cleaned my rim, then I sealed my skull and drips with another coat of epoxy, then I was all done. That's it, guys! Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. Have fun making your poison 3D skull glitter tumblers, and I'll see you again next time.